Have you ever wondered why some people seem to resent you? Despite your efforts to show kindness, you pour your heart into helping them, always there when they need you. Yet, they respond with disdain, dismiss your efforts, or even push back against you. Carl Jung's profound discovery reveals why this happens, offering a lens to understand human nature and navigate life's turning points. Why does kindness sometimes spark hostility? Jung's decades of studying the human psyche uncovered an unsettling truth. Your goodness can trigger resentment in others. Stay with us to explore this dark corner of the mind. Learn why good people often face unfair treatment, and discover how to protect yourself while staying true to your compassionate nature. Carl Jung taught us something hard to accept. Everyone carries a shadow, the hidden parts of ourselves we refuse to face. The less we acknowledge this shadow, the darker and heavier it grows. What does this mean for you? Striving to live kindly in midlife. Your goodness doesn't just shine light, it can expose others' buried flaws. Stirring discomfort they can't ignore. Your kindness acts like a mirror, reflecting the shadow others hide. Jung revealed that when you show patience, empathy, or generosity, you're not just being kind, you're confronting others with what they lack. The shadow, as Jung described, holds our denel, flaws, failure, and dark impulses, and your goodness forces others to see what they've buried. Here's the unsettling part. When someone encounters your genuine kindness, their unconscious doesn't think, "What a wonderful person." Instead, it whispers, "They have what I don't." Jung called this shadow projection. They see you as a threat, not because of your actions, but because you embody what they reject in themselves. Jung warned that facing our whole self, light and shadow, is life's greatest challenge. Your kindness, especially in midlife's search for meaning, forces others to confront their buried selves. When you're patient with the angry or kind to the cruel, you show a different way to live. One they may fear they can't follow. Jung saw that most people cling to their flawed identities, even negative ones, rather than face the painful truth that they could change. Your kindness threatens their sense of self, built on cynicism or control. Jung called this a psychological recoil, where your goodness challenges their carefully guarded persona. Instead of feeling inspired, they feel inferior. To cope, they may try to diminish you, convincing themselves your kindness is fake, manipulative, or driven by hidden motives. The more compassionate you are, the more their shadow reacts, pushing them to reject you to protect their fragile self-image. Jung discovered that people weave complex stories about your intentions to avoid facing what your kindness reveals about their own behavior. As you navigate midlife's call to authenticity, their rejection isn't about you, it's their shadow dodging the mirror of your goodness, unwilling to confront their own shortcomings. Jung's profound insight was this: everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves. When your kindness stirs discomfort, it reveals their inner struggles. For you, in this pivotal stage of life, it's a chance to reflect on your own shadow and grow toward true self-understanding. Most people operate from what Jung called the persona, a mask worn to fit society's expectations, toughness, skepticism, or practicality. Your authentic kindness, rooted in your true self, exposes their mask as hollow. They can't admit this, so they blame you, projecting their insecurities onto your goodwill. Here's the twist Jung uncovered. People often attack the qualities in you they secretly wish they had. They call your kindness weak, your patience foolish, your empathy naive. Why? Admitting your strength means facing their own limits. A truth too painful for their shadow to bear in this season of life. This is what Jung termed projection. They cast their inner conflicts onto you. Their anger isn't about your kindness, but their own lack of it. As you seek meaning in midlife, Jung's wisdom reminds you, your vision becomes clear when you look into your own heart. Their reaction reflects their struggle, not your worth. Those who look outward dream, but those who look inward awaken. Jung said, your kindness, born of self-awareness, can threaten others' unexamined lives. In midlife, as you shed outdated roles, you may disrupt those still asleep in their personas, clinging to collective norms. When you show consistent kindness, you embody what Jung called individuation, the journey to your true self. This threatens those who haven't begun their inner work. Your growth highlights their stagnation. Your awareness exposes their unconsciousness, stirring resentment as you forge your path. Jung noticed that people unconsciously try to pull you back to their level, sabotaging those further along in psychological growth. The more you mature emotionally, the more some resent you, resisting your progress to protect their own unexamined lives. As you heal old wounds and grow, some try to reopen them. Jung observed, they provoke old patterns, hoping to drag you back. In midlife's quest for wholeness, their resistance tests your resolve to stay true to your individuation, embracing both light and shadow. Jung understood the power of the collective unconscious, filled with archetypes, universal patterns shaping our behavior. When you choose kindness in a world that often rewards cruelty, you challenge these collective norms, becoming a threat to the status quo. Many cling to, your kindness suggests another way to live, unsettling those tied to society's harsh archetypes. Jung saw that the collective unconscious holds the scapegoat archetype, where your goodness makes you a target for others' guilt, shame, and self-loathing. In this transformative phase, in a harsh world, your kindness marks you as the perfect scapegoat. People project their shame and self-hatred onto you, convincing themselves you're the problem, not the system that shaped their cruelty. This is why good people often bear the weight of others' shadows. Your kindness doesn't just stir individuals, it ripples through group dynamics. People unite against you, not for what you've done, but for what you represent. In midlife, as you seek authenticity, Jung's insight reveals why your goodness can become a lightning rod for collective resentment. Jung said, the privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. But what if being yourself invites hostility? In this pivotal stage, others' rejection of your kindness shows where you may be giving away power, seeking approval through good deeds instead of embracing your true self. Sometimes, what others perceive as kindness is manipulation in disguise. Jung called this the helper's syndrome. When you act kind to gain acceptance or love, it rings false. As you navigate midlife's call to authenticity, this inauthenticity can provoke stronger resentment than genuine kindness. Jung's wisdom cuts deep. I am not what happened to me. I am what I choose to be. If your kindness seeks validation, it's not true kindness, it's performance. In midlife, examine your motives to ensure your goodness flows from strength, not a need to be seen as good. Jung taught that the first step to handling others' resentment is recognizing their hatred isn't about you, it's about their unhealed wounds and fears. When you see this, you can choose to respond with kindness, rooted in strength, not weakness. As you grow into your true self, reflect on this in midlife's turning point. Are you kind because it's who you are, or because you want something in return? Jung's shadow work demands you face the part of you craving approval. Only then can you offer kindness without expecting validation. Free from others' projections, you must confront the part of yourself that seeks to be seen as good in every situation. By integrating your shadow, as Jung advised, you offer kindness without strings attached. This authenticity protects you from becoming a target for others' unresolved pain. Jung's insight is clear. Everything that irritates us about others can lead to an understanding of ourselves. If others' rejection of your kindness teaches you about boundaries, you're on the path to individuation. Balancing compassion with self-protection in this transformative season, without boundaries, kindness becomes codependency, inviting others to project their shadows onto you. Jung taught that healthy people value genuine kindness because it doesn't threaten them. Unhealthy ones feel exposed, as your goodness highlights their inner struggles. With strong boundaries, you can be kind without becoming a target. Jung called this differentiation, staying true to yourself while letting others be themselves. You don't carry their emotional weight or try to fix them, freeing you to live authentically in midlife. When you're kind from strength, others respond differently. They can't project their flaws onto you because you're not proving anything. Jung's wisdom helps you navigate midlife by offering compassion without absorbing others' pain, preserving your energy for your own growth. Jung vowed, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. Many who face resentment for their kindness are trapped in the rescuer-victim dynamic. In midlife, recognize if you're unconsciously seeking people to save, perpetuating toxic cycles. Rescuers often choose those who will betray them, Jung noted, because deep down they feel they deserve punishment for their goodness. This unconscious self-sabotage, rooted in childhood patterns, keeps you stuck unless you confront it on your path to individuation. If you keep attracting people who resent your kindness, Jung would say you're unconsciously choosing them. They mirror your deepest fears about yourself. In midlife, this is your chance to break free from old patterns and choose relationships that honor your true self. Jung's advice resonates. Your task is not to seek love, but to find and remove the barriers within yourself against it. In midlife, remove the barriers that make your kindness a target seeking approval, controlling others' views, or avoiding your shadow. Embrace true compassion. When you shed these barriers, your kindness becomes powerful, flowing from abundance, not lack. Jung saw that such authentic kindness rarely provokes hatred because it doesn't threaten others. It simply exists as an expression of your fully realized self. Jung said, "The most terrifying thing is to accept oneself completely." In midlife, embracing your shadow flaws and all makes your kindness unshakable. It doesn't need validation or reciprocation, becoming a pure reflection of your individuated self. True kindness, Jung taught, isn't a strategy to gain something, it's who you are. It doesn't aim to change others or win approval. In this stage of life, living authentically means offering compassion without needing it to be received or valued. Here's the paradox Jung uncovered: when your kindness is truly authentic, it's less likely to be hated. Others may not always appreciate it, but they can't project their shadows onto it because it seeks nothing in return. Embodying your inner strength. Jung's insight cuts through where love rules. There is no will to power. Where power dominates, love is absent. Your persistent kindness reveals others' emotional scarcity, stirring envy. In midlife, your generosity exposes their struggle to give freely, challenging their self-image. Jung called this archetypal envy, where those emotionally drained resent your abundant kindness. They don't just want what you have, they want to destroy it. In midlife, your generosity exposes their inner scarcity, making your goodness a mirror they can't face. Envious people don't aspire to your kindness. They aim to prove it's fake. They test your limits, make unreasonable demands, or provoke you to say no. Then use your boundaries as proof your goodness was never real. Jung saw this as their unconscious bid to level the playing field. Jung's insight rings true. Everything that irritates us about others can lead to an understanding of ourselves. When others project cruelty onto your kindness, it reveals their wounds, not your flaws. In midlife, this clarity helps you stay compassionate without absorbing their pain. Those scarred by past cruelty can't believe in genuine kindness. Jung noted, they assume your goodness hides ulterior motives, power, gain, or control, because that's why they'd act kind. In this life stage, their projections reflect their distrust, not your authenticity. Jung saw that some obsessively search for your hidden agenda, dissecting your actions to confirm their belief that kindness can't exist. This paranoid projection, as Jung called it, stems from their inability to accept genuine compassion in a world they see as manipulative. Your compliments become flattery. Your help becomes control. Your empathy becomes condescension. The more you defend your sincerity, the more they doubt it. Jung's paradox of authenticity shows that proving your goodness fuels their suspicion, as the innocent don't need to justify. Jung's archetype of the wounded healer reveals why your kindness threatens some. They've built their identity on pain, betrayal, or victimhood. Your goodness offers healing, but accepting it means letting go of their wounds, a terrifying step. They resist in midlife's crossroads. For some, their wounds define them, giving meaning, attention, or excuses to avoid growth. Your kindness invites them to heal, but Jung saw they often sabotage this chance, clinging to familiar pain rather than facing the unknown of transformation. They reject your kindness, push you away, then use your absence to prove everyone abandons them. Jung called this the victim's revenge. They punish you for offering help, as it suggests they could change a prospect too daunting for their fragile identity. This explains why those who need kindness most resist it, fiercest. Jung taught, they don't just reject your help, they reject their own potential for growth. In midlife, as you seek individuation, their resistance tests your resolve to stay true without taking on their pain. Jung said, the meeting of two personalities is like the contact of two chemicals. If there's a reaction, both are transformed. But when someone refuses transformation, your kindness becomes a mirror they can't face, highlighting their refusal to grow. By choosing kindness over cruelty, patience over anger, empathy over judgment, you show emotional maturity. Jung called this emotional superiority, not moral superiority, which can make others feel small, prompting them to pull you down to their level. They weaponize your kindness, calling it naive or weak to feel stronger by comparison. Jung observed, in midlife's quest for authenticity, they attack your intelligence or strength to diminish your goodness. Unable to face their own emotional shortcomings, Jung saw that some prefer cruelty and cunning over kindness and vulnerability, equating emotional intelligence with weakness. This painful truth reveals why your goodness can feel like a target in a world that often rewards hardness over heart. Jung's liberating insight, the most terrifying thing is to accept oneself completely. Your kindness forces others to confront their self-acceptance. In midlife, living authentically means embracing your shadow, making your goodness a beacon of your true self. When you're genuinely kind, you act from what Jung called the authentic self, not a mask. This authenticity acts like a truth detector, exposing others' inauthenticity and making them uneasy, as they've spent their lives playing roles they can't shed. Jung's trap of performance explains why they assume you're acting. 2. Used to manipulating through behavior. They can't fathom your sincerity. Your kindness disrupts their worldview, creating cognitive dissonance. They can't reconcile your goodness with their cynicism. Faced with your authenticity, they must either rethink their entire worldview or convince themselves your kindness is fake. Most choose the latter, as Jung noted, because changing their perspective is too daunting in a life built on distrust and self-protection. Jung's wisdom shines here. Your vision becomes clear when you look into your own heart. In midlife, cultivating emotional sobriety lets you see others' projections for what they are, reflections of their pain, not your worth, freeing you to stay kind without harm. Emotional sobriety, as Jung described, is like staying clear-headed amidst manipulation. It means being kind without naivety, empathetic without codependency. You see others' pain without taking it on, preserving your energy for your journey toward individuation. Jung's concept of conscious compassion changes everything. In midlife, you can offer kindness without becoming a victim of others' projections. You understand their pain, but don't carry it, staying true to your path of individuation while protecting your inner peace. When you're emotionally sober, others' hatred of your kindness becomes data, not a wound. It reveals their inner struggles, not your value. Jung's insight lets you maintain compassion in midlife while shielding your energy for your own growth and self-discovery. Jung's profound truth: I am not what happened to me. I am what I choose to be. Your choice to embody authentic kindness shapes how it's received. In this turning point of life, your goodness, rooted in strength, becomes a beacon for those ready to embrace it. People don't reject true kindness. They fear the threat it poses to their fragile egos and unhealed wounds. Jung's wisdom teaches that your task isn't to make your kindness palatable, but to ensure it's genuine, bounded, and flows from your inner strength. Jung discovered that authentic kindness sparks gratitude in those who are awake to themselves, while it stirs resistance in those still asleep. In midlife, choose to offer compassion with boundaries, cultivating relationships with those who value your true self. You can be kind without becoming a victim, authentic without being a target. Jung's process of individuation means becoming your whole self, regardless of others' reactions, freeing you to live with integrity in a world that sometimes resents goodness. You don't change who you are, you grow fuller, with clear boundaries and honest intentions. Jung's wisdom reminds you, your vision becomes clear when you look into your own heart. True kindness, born of self-awareness, is unshakable, no matter how others respond. Those who resent your kindness are your greatest teachers. Jung taught, they show you where to strengthen boundaries, clarify intentions, and deepen self-acceptance. In midlife, they're mirrors, not enemies, guiding you toward a more authentic, individuated self. Jung called this the transcendent function, holding the paradox of being kind yet strong, empathetic yet protected. It's the art of staying compassionate while guarding your energy, a skill that defines psychological freedom in this transformative stage of life. With this freedom, you're no longer a victim of others' projections or a prisoner to their approval. You're simply kind, strong, and true. Jung's insight empowers you to offer compassion without needing validation, living fully as your authentic self. Jung's final discovery: The world doesn't need less kindness, but more people who are kind from strength, not weakness. In midlife, you hold the map to authentic kindness, grounded, bounded, and resilient, ready to navigate a world that sometimes resists it. The power is yours to choose freedom through kindness. Thank you for joining this journey into Jung's wisdom. If this resonates, subscribe and share with someone who needs it. Your support helps spread these insights to others seeking their own path. A small thank you below goes a long way in supporting this work. It's a simple way to show gratitude and help this channel grow, sharing Jung's timeless guidance with those navigating life's turning point and the quest for their true selves.